the return of the beast, Zion Williamson. From all accounts, we should be seeing Zion Williamson take the floor for the very first time against the Chicago Bulls. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this. This is going to be an epic encounter. We get a first look at Zach Lavine and Demar Derozan going into year 2 together. That dynamic duo, Vucevic. We all know Lonzo Ball is out with the injury, but there's a lot of optimism. DeMar DeRozan is on record as saying that everybody's a threat when the Bulls are fully healthy, and that's when Lonzo's healthy. Zach Lavine, when Lonzo gets back, he's the starting point guard. But let's keep the focus on Mr. Zion Williamson. This guy Zion is an all-out assassin. I'm here to tell you right now, I believe that he's on track to wreak havoc on the NBA due to all of the things that has been said, due to all of the chirping. Zion is in tremendous shape. He last averaged 27 points per game, ladies and gentlemen, on 61% from the field. Tomorrow night against the Chicago Bulls, he possibly could be by his lonely. Pelicans, Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum are both questionable, for tomorrow's encounter. So we don't really know who we could see out there, for the New Orleans Pelicans. But I believe that Zion Williamson is forceful enough, to really, do their thing out there. The Chicago Bulls, despite no Lonzo, they got to take preseason very seriously. They did not have the best close to their season. You got to make sure you get off to the right footing. I'm hearing from all accounts, and this is being reported by NBC Sports. Io DeSumo is standing out in training camp. I think that's truly tremendous because the Bulls are a deep team. Even despite injuries, they should still be formidable. At the end of the day, even if more injuries were to arise, obviously we don't want that to be the case. But think things. You just got to be ready for whatever. There's going to be pressure on guys. Billy Donovan, he stated that he even see that Zach Lavine, he's seeing a difference in his game. I wonder could Zach Lavine and DeMar, change their games for the better, and not just be what they did last year, a replica. You can't be a replica of last season. But Zion, it's going to be interesting to see, in Willie Green's offense, despite if it's possible that we don't see him with the big three, with B.I., CJ. Obviously, we're going to get an opportunity to see that. But if we don't see it early, there are other players that Zion Williamson pairing up with is going to be interesting. I want to see how he pairs up with Jose Alvarado. I want to see what he does with Najee Marshall. There's so many other notable names, to look out for. So it's not just the standouts. We all know the Pelicans are star-studded. Let's keep it 100. Their team is loaded. I think that this team could easily shoot up the standings, before everybody's very eyes if nobody's paying attention. I got a lot of confidence in this team, man. Well-coached, well-ran organization. Zion is coming into, and another thing about Zion, he should get credit for, he just got a whole nother look in his eyes, and for the better. I don't see him, looking like he want to be, a distraction. It's looking like he want to really assist his basketball team for the better, and that's what I like, With no CJ, could we see Point Zion? I want to see, are we going to get a chance to see Point Zion, or is Zion going to be a more traditional big man, or I want to know how Willie Green uses Zion, because that's going to be pivotal for the success of the New Orleans Pelicans. Back to the Chicago Bulls. They've had some key additions. We all know Goran Dragic. I want to see what they did with Andre Drummond. I think that was another underrated pickup. I think when you discuss the pickups, I got the Kings, Kevin Huerter, them picking up Kevin Huerter, and I got the Andre Drummond pickup. is one of the most underrated moves of the off season, and I think it's gonna pay dividends. I want to see how they could use Drummond to fix some of the deficiencies that the Bulls had. The Bulls had a lot of issues. With the crew, they got to get their shit together. Zach. They had issues, man. That's all I can tell you, man. They got to get themselves together. Zach Lavine, he just got that big bag. You got to make sure you're here to deliver the goods, man, because a lot of people didn't even think you deserved that money. So you got to prove that you're a winner, not a guy that just put up points. Even for Demar Derozan, if he averaged 30 points this season approaching, nobody's going to be phased. You got to be able to, and as veteran players, especially for Demar Derozan, you got to learn how to preserve your body. You understand? Headed into the postseason. That way you're fresh. That way you're not gassed. I think a season ago they were just completely gassed approaching that playoff. You don't want to do that to yourself because it hurts. And we seen it firsthand. The disaster that it caused. So they just got to be on their A game. That's all I can really tell you. Guys got to be on their A game. Point blank, period. If guys can get on their A game, they'll be straight. And that's just for the Bulls. There's gonna be pressure on them because the East is loaded. The Bulls, if they don't get off to a good start, man, they could find themselves completely out the playoff picture. The Eastern Conference is loaded, and the Bulls, their schedule. Let's take a look at their schedule because we minus the preseason, we all know about that. They open the season up against Miami. You got Washington, Cleveland, Boston. So you got to make sure you can get those games. And it's gonna be tough out the gate. The first 4 games of the regular season, there ain't gonna be no walk in the park. And then you got Indiana. Some people are high on Indiana. San Antonio, I think, is tanking. And then after San Antonio, you got the Sixers, then the Nets, then the Hornets, then the Celtics. So our bottom line is, the Chicago Bulls are gonna have their work cut out for them. New Orleans, same situation. It's interesting to see. I want to see what these teams are trying to implement early. And for New Orleans case, how many minutes is Zion gonna play? With guys out, Zion should be able to take center stage. He should be the go-to guy. In the preseason, the ball should be going to him. And that's gonna be interesting to see. High-flying moments, some plays. Let's see what he added to his game because we heard everything, we seen everything. Now it's time to see it on the floor. And I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody buckle up and make sure y'all pull up the Flight Sports TV because we will be live streaming this game. The New Orleans Pelicans versus the Chicago Bulls is going down. The return of the beast, Zion Williamson.